القرآن.
All right, start again. Hi there. Walaikum Assalam, brothers and sisters. You are listening to Ramadan FM 2018. This is Councillor Shabaz Mohammed, and this is the Drive Time Show. I have a special guest here and a local historian today, Mr. Dean Armand. Can you just say hello?
Hello there.
Yep.
And welcome to Drive Time.
Yeah. All right. What I really want to talk about today is my journey into politics, and obviously Dean knows where we started from and how we got into local politics and how I got elected. Dean?
Yep. Shabz has been a long-term resident of Newham, born here, grew up here, Canning Town North boy, born and bred, and got involved when the market at the Canning Town Romford Road, Rathbone, was threatened, and got involved in the campaign to save that. And since then, that led on to his political involvement, which culminated in getting selected as to represent Canning Town North in the recent local general elections.
Yeah, I mean, it was for all our members in the local ward. It was a real hard-fought campaign, and we had many parties contesting this ward, including UKIP and Christian People's Alliance. But at the end of the day, the Labour Party got through on, and now I started my job on Tuesday as an elected official, and I've not stopped. I've literally been non-stop working on issues in the ward, including antisocial behaviour, policing issues, and residents, obviously surgery stuff that I've been doing online. People been ringing me up, and I've been listening to residents' concerns. Dean, can you just talk a little bit about West Ham and Newham in general? Because Dean is a great historian for Newham, and a great guy that teaches in the local schools.
Yeah, well, things are going well in the local area, and one of the things that led Shabz into politics was his concerns over the community. And as you know, we've got a very diverse community in Newham, and especially in the Canning Town area, and that's led to all sorts of interesting developments.
Yeah, I think we in the next hopefully next 4 years, Canning Town North Ward will change. Like Newham has been changing. Changes every day with all the new developments that are coming in, and everything else that happens around the area. One of the main things that I actually stood for was change, and it's about bringing change and bringing our community together. I saw a lot of things that were going on in the community I didn't like. I mean, how in some ways how quite a divided community we are, and my main aim is over in the next 4 years to actually bring our communities together, including our many faith groups and different diverse communities, and see what change we can make to their lives in Newham. Dean, would you talk about Gainsborough School and some of the stuff you do with the kids? It's quite interesting.
Yes, I'm 58 years old, and over half a century ago I went to my local school, which is Gainsborough Primary School in Gainsborough Road, and I've come back to live in the area and renewed my links with the school, and I work there as a volunteer in the morning helping with literacy, but I also help out in the library, and I have a particular interest in British values and the cultural history of the area. So the children are always quite intrigued to find out all the different people who've lived in Newham and all the different things they've done.
That's really, really good. Like I said to you, my journey into politics is getting involved, and like I said to you, there was a particular councillor in Canning Town that made me join the local Labour Party because he thought, I was one of those guys that could maybe make a difference, and he always pushed me to be this voice in the community. And because I was a local boy living in Canning Town and coming back from a diverse background, he thought it would be really nice to have someone like me representing my community. The main issues we currently have in Newham, as you know, is things like antisocial behaviour. Housing is one of the major issues, another issue that we have, and it's about talking to people and engaging with people. And I think at the end of the day, when I was running this campaign, that's what people saw in me, a local person, being part of the Labour Party, and wanted to get elected. Dean, would you say anything about our campaign and all the stuff that we've been doing locally over the years, over the last 4 years, in how we built the branch up and how our branch was functioning in our local branch in Canning Town?
Yeah, Shabz joined the branch, Robbie Gordon joined a similar time, and together they worked and built the branch up. I joined a little bit later, and working with other people like Christian and Jim, they've managed to recruit a lot more members, get them a lot more active, get them a lot more involved in the change program, looking for change and improvement, built the links with the community, whether it's local businesses, faith groups, community assets like Chat or Cody Doc. They plan to extend that now that Shabz is a councillor into the local schools, and really work together to build a sense of, or enhance the sense of community that already exists. And that means tackling the issues, and it's very much people-led politics. Councillor Shaban Mohammed wants to listen to people who are local, who are part of the community, hear their views, set some priorities, and implement the change that he promised in his manifesto.
Yeah, that's really, really good. That's really, really reassuring to know. And like I said to you, it's going to be a 4-year journey for us, and see how we develop our plans and what we're going to do in the area. But like I said to you, it's the main thing with me is it's about our community and making sure that residents actually get involved in politics. It's about making a difference, and that's what I intend to do. We're just going to a short break now, and
we'll be back with you shortly.
Yeah, thank you.
Yo, bro, Cuzzy's getting married and I need to get hold of a car.
Yar, I know some boys who know SPM car hire. They got the best cars in town. Rolls Royces, Ranges, Maseratis, Aston Martins. Cause you name it, they got it with the best prices in town.
Sorted. Looks like I'm going to this wedding in a Range then.
They'll drop off the car and pick you up once you're done. Just give them a ring on 01798 397 916 or visit them online spmhire.com or find them on Instagram.
Looking for meat and groceries? Look no further than Waris Food Store in Walthamstow. Visit the store to view our special Ramadan offers. 420 Hull Street, Walthamstow, E17 9AA. Or for free delivery, call us on 0208 521 0000. We have fresh deliveries of poultry and vegetables every day. Waris Food Store in Walthamstow.
Reliant Solicitors fight to protect your legal rights. Our firm offers a wide range of services including immigration, family law, commercial law, civil litigation, personal injury, landlord and tenant disputes and employment law. Visit us at 602A High Road, 7 Kings, Ilford, IG3 8BU or call 0207 183 5439. Reliance Solicitors, where every client matters.
Britain Solicitors in East Ham, the name you can trust. We provide services in immigration, family law, landlord and tenant matters, commercial leases and civil litigation. We also deal in personal injury claims and road traffic accidents. Call us on 0203 475 7845 or visit us at 62 Barking Road, East Ham, E6 3BP.
Ramadan FM
2018.
The voice of British Muslims.
Atlantic Distributions. Whether it is frozen fish, marinated Lahori masala fish, or lamb offals, we have them available at very competitive prices. We are wholesale suppliers to restaurants, butchers, and caterers. Visit us at 51 to 53 Upton Lane, London, E7 9PA. Contact us on 07415 474 185.
Usman needs the adhesive to work. If not, his day will be a disaster. Ah! So, Usman, if you really need something to bond, grab a tube of CT1 from your local stockist. An incredibly powerful sealant and construction adhesive that's fast, flexible and strong. It can be used anywhere, even underwater. For more info, ct1limited.com or follow us on Facebook or ring us on 0208 555.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. You are listening to Ramadan FM 2018. Now, I'm just going to pass it over to Dean, who, again, is a local historian, and we're just going to talk about the challenges we faced growing up in Canning Town and the changes that have actually come into our area. So I'm going to just pass it over to Dean.
Hello there. Just if anyone else would like to join in the conversation with Shabz and Dean, it's 0333 0116 786. So don't hold back. Please call in. It'd be much more enjoyable if we could share the conversation with some other people. Coming back to what's gone here. I was born in 1960 and Newham was a very different place then. And over the years, we've seen population changing in all sorts of ways. And you may have heard recently about how the immigration started after the war with the Windrush, but don't jump to that time. 1948 wasn't the start of it. There was a famous meeting back in 1934 over in Canning Town where Charlie Chaplin met Gandhi in the house of Dr. Cattell, and he went on to become the first person of colour who was a mayor in London when he became mayor of Finsbury Park. He also designed the Finsbury Park Medical Centre, so there's a long history of people coming from different countries into Newham, into the East End, and making significant contributions to the community.
Yeah, I can actually remember, you know, my father talks quite a bit about Canning Town and the first Asian community that actually came into Canning Town, which was around the Liverpool Road area, and one of the first. In fact, we had one of the first mosques. There was a mosque there that that's where life started for a lot of young Asians, and our challenges that we faced growing up there. You know, we had the National Front there, BNP. You know, the racial challenges that we actually faced, which were quite difficult. I can actually remember going to mosque with my brothers and sisters at the time, and you know, being chased by the local residents, and you know, wanting to actually beat you up and stuff like that. It was a real difficult period, you know, going to mosque and growing up in Canning Town, and you know, the fights that we used to have. It was just unbelievable time growing up. But now, as I said to you, it's a completely different area. You know, I think we've really integrated, the Asian community in Newham has really integrated a lot more, and you know, the racial tension that was there is literally gradually dying down. Would you agree with me, Dean?
Yes, definitely, Shabz. The area's changed, and it's changed in interesting ways. And as mentioned, Very topical at the moment is the Windrush generation. So we see a lot of people coming from the Caribbean to help build up the community, working in different trades, including a lot of nurses, doctors, and so on and so forth. People working transport, bus service, and the rest of it. Followed on by other people coming from the subcontinent, whether it was Pakistan, east or west back in those days before Bangladesh. And then that followed on with a lot of Indians and people from what we used to call Ceylon, that's now Sri Lanka. Then, of course, we had the Ugandan Asians coming to join them, also contributing. Later on, we had quite some groups coming over from Somalia. And since then, we've had East European people moving in. So it's been different religions, different races, different countries.
And don't forget one more thing, the different cuisines that we had, the different food types that were actually introduced into, into the UK at the time. That's what you've got to look at, the diversity of different foods coming in, different, different ways of cooking. So, that was maybe one of the better things that we've actually witnessed over the last 30, 40 years.
Shabz is certainly right there. England and the UK are great places, but I don't think many people move here for the food or the weather. It's other things that attract them. But when they come, they brought their culture, including food, and that's certainly in my lifetime made a huge difference to the variety of foods and cuisines available to people, either to make at home or to eat out. Yeah. And remember, if you'd like to join in the conversation, please give us a call on 0333 011 6786.
All right. We're just going to quickly go for a quick break, and we'll join you in a little in a little while.
Back in the shake of a lamb's tail.
Oh, thank you.
Do you dream of traveling to those blessed lands where the beloved of Allah was born? Does your heart yearn for Medina, the city of the beloved? If it is your time to experience a spiritual journey words cannot justify, then join us at Sam Travel and Tours and book your Hajj and Umrah packages today. We offer group and tailor-made packages for all your requirements. Based on Romford Road in London, for our last 10 days Umrah package, please call us on 0208 478 8911.
MR Accountants provide a full range of accountancy and taxation services, including annual and management accounts, self-assessment, tax returns, VAT, bookkeeping and payroll services to all different types of businesses. With our in-house chartered accountants, you can be guaranteed to save money. Contact us now on 0203 432 9138.
Bugs, fleas, flies, all types of insects and rodents. 0203 633 0080 or 0770 279 8808. www.cpestc.com. City Pest Control. Large enough to cope, small enough to care. All our technicians are British Pest Control Association qualified, and we are regulated by the Royal Society of Public Health.
This Ramadan, visit Al Akbar's for all your meat and poultry needs. We buy only the highest quality meat and are HMC registered. We've got some amazing offers on all our products this Ramadan, and we provide free local delivery for all our customers. We also cater for restaurants and large events, so no matter how big or small your order is, Al Akbar's is the name to remember. Visit us now at 51 to 53 Upton Lane, Forest Gate, E7 9PA, or call us at 0208 472 5742. Al Akbar's, the name to remember.
شاهي زمنا مرحبا مرحبا 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 شاهي زمنا छट गई है तीरगी शाह ज़मन के आने से छट गई है तीरगी शाह ज़मन के आने से बढ़ रही है रोशनी बढ़ रही है रोशनी शाह ज़मन के आने से शाह ज़मन आए मरहबा मरहबा शाह ज़मन आए मरहबा मरहबा सरकार की आमद मरहबा दिलदार की आमद मरहबा सोहड़े की आमद मरहबा मंठार की आमद मरहबा शाह ज़मन आए मरहबा मरहबा शाह ज़मन आए मरहबा मरहबा हसरतें जिंदा हुई मुर्दा बदन में आ गई हसरतें जिंदा हुई मुर्दा बदन में आ गई एक नई सी जिंदगी शाह ज़मन के आने से शाह ज़मन आए मरहबा मरहबा शाह ज़मन आए मरहबा मरहबा हर जहालत दोस्त तो दुनिया से रुखसत हो गई हर जहालत दोस्त तो दुनिया से रुखसत हो गई इल्म की मशअल जली शाह ज़मन के आने से
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, and welcome back to Ramadan FM 2018. And if you want to talk to me or Dean, call us on our studio number of 0333 And if you want to email the show, it's info@ramadanfm2018.com, or if you want to send us a tweet, it's ramadanfm2018. So one of the things we're going to talk about is the classroom and the way the classroom has changed. Obviously, you teach in Gainsborough School, Dean. What is the ethnic diversity of the class at the moment?
It's very mixed over at Gainsborough. I work there as volunteer in the morning with literacy. I also help out in the library, and I focus on British values, but not in an abstract way. We try to make it relevant so the children understand. And in terms of diversity, we've got quite a few children with SEN needs who are in the school of all different backgrounds. Quite a few people from Eastern Europe, some local English people or Irish people, very diverse staff, very effective at integrating all of these people together, and the children get along very well.
Well, that makes a change from when I went to school. You know, I was probably one of the only Asians in my class at the time, or there was very few Asians throughout the school, and even the guys from the Caribbean, Afro-Caribbean children were, it was very small amount, and I can actually remember the fights in the playground, and literally the playground being split in two on colour basis, where you had the white kids on one side and you had the black and Asian kids on the other, and it was like, it was like going to a football match and fighting your way through to get to your classroom. How about you, Dean? When you went to school, did you have the same situation, or?
We didn't have any sort of conflict there, really, mainly because Gainsborough School has always been been a leader in schooling in Newham, with staff from different backgrounds. In fact, my very first form teacher was a very inspiring teacher. He was an Indian, Mr. Singh. He was a Sikh, and he was a very good school teacher. And we had Irish school teachers and people from different backgrounds. So right from the start, we were quite fortunate. And West Ham's always had a fairly diverse community. Our local doctor was Mr. Chatterjee, and he was from India as well. So we
I don't think it was diverse in our days when we were growing up. It was a completely different thing. Besides our local doctors actually being Asian and coming from India and Pakistan. But other than that, that was the only thing about our area.
Well, if there's anyone else who's listening, please give us a ring on 0333011686, and let's hear about your background and your experiences of schooling in Newham.
Yeah.
Either you, or if you weren't schooled here, perhaps your children were.
Yeah,
Give us a ring and share your views.
Yeah, like I said to you, I mean, growing up in Newham it was very, very tough for a lot of people, and including me. And you know, sometimes you needed a bit of inspiration, and you know, there was many teachers that I could look back to and ask a question, and they inspired me, and really. I felt, you know, at the time the black and Asian kids, they were literally always pushed to that extra level to actually exceed and do well in school. How about today, Dean? What would you say about that?
Definitely, it's the case that standards have raised. When I was at school, primary school, back in the 60s, it was a very different environment. And now the standards, the teaching, the equipment, the resources are much, much better. And there's no doubt about it that going to primary school now, children are much more fortunate than they were back in the 60s. And when were you there, Shabz, in the 70s?
70s and 80s, late 80s, yeah. So, you know, as I said to you, I think I would love to be a primary school kid now and have all the computers and all the great resources that, you know, some schools have nowadays. It would, you know, it'd be really, really good. And then the other thing was that you wouldn't have the racial tension that we used to have growing up in Newham.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right, Shabz. Children now are so used to seeing, certainly in Newham anyway, people from different backgrounds, different countries, different races, different religions, that they take it as normal now. It's not strange to see people of different appearance or different...
No, that's like I said, it's been really, really good. I can obviously remember my experience of, again, going to my local mosque and, you know, getting chased. And like I said to you, in them early 60s and early 70s and maybe the early 80s, you know, the number of mosques that we actually had in Newham, which was a very small amount. And now you can literally go on every street corner and there's a mosque and you know, or a community centre, which is really, really good. And it's actually brought our great community back together.
And that raises a very interesting question, is why has it changed? Someone's clearly been getting something right somewhere if we've managed to integrate ourselves, despite the problems and setbacks and challenging times that people experienced in the 60s and 70s and maybe a bit in the 80s. So if you've got any views on why things have turned out as well as they have done, please give us a call and share your views with us.
I think it's, I personally think it's, you know, a lot of the great developments that we've actually had come in. You know, we've had the Olympics and maybe in the early 80s, you know, a lot of investment was put into Newham at the time, and literally, especially into the education system. You know, if you go back to the 60s education system and now, you know, the money and the resources were actually put in, and it absolutely helped a lot of people get out of social poverty and excel. And this is when you know, this where, you know, Newham, some people in Newham are the main beneficiaries of it. Would you say I'm right in that?
Yeah, I'd say you're right in that. Education's definitely played a key role. The willingness of local people to accept outsiders has always been much easier in Newham, simply because of the fact that we've got so many, or back in the day, we used to have so many docks in Newham. And that's led to people who came on the ships, whether they're Indian sailors, Lascars, or Chinese sailors, and others coming into the community from outside. And that led on to people in Newham, especially those who lived near the dock areas, getting used to seeing people who were different and getting used to them and living in their communities. As we know, Kamal Chukchi set up the Coloured Man's Institute in Canning Town. That played a role in integrating people. And we've seen other areas. For example, the fire service. The first black fireman in London was Frank Butcher, who worked out of Canning Town. And for those of you with interest in sport, if you think about West Ham, they were one of the first clubs in the country to have black players playing for them. So all of these factors have all made West Ham and Newham and Canning Town a much more welcoming place, perhaps, than other places in the country. But let's hear from you on 0333 011 6786 to hear your views on integration Newham. Has it worked or not?
You know, the other great thing is, you know, Queen's Market and Green Street. You know how that changed. You know, from, you know, a few halal butchers to, and a few jewellery shops, to the expulsion of great culture. You know, the shops that we've got, the food. You know, you can't go into any part of Green Street without finding an ingredient for food and stuff like that.
Yep, that's certainly true, because back in the 70s, if anyone can remember Bernie Inchain and others, the most popular meal when people went out was steak, and their favourite dessert was Black Forest Gâteau, and their favourite starter was a prawn cocktail. Now, fortunately, there's a much more diverse choice of foods available, and I certainly think that people would have different preferences now if they go out to eat. So if you've got a particular food you like, whether it's a local one or one from your own community, please let us know.
No, that's really good. Talk a little bit of about the other thing which brings our communities together, Dean.
I think schooling is one of them, because people who have prejudice, it's all right to be wary about people who are different, but prejudice has to be learned, and the schools have done a great job in getting children to integrate at a young level. And of course, over the last few decades, as they've grown up together, they've gone to school together, they've got to know each other, they've seen each other, they've played together. That's had a huge impact. So,
funnily enough, it's I could actually tell this story. When I was actually canvassing in West Hamwood at one point, obviously I can remember one of the guys that I actually had a fight with, and we became friends at the time. But I seemed to recognise, I was canvassing and I see him, and I recognised him, and obviously now we're great friends. But in those days at school, we were enemies. And we couldn't understand what was going on. We were in a new environment. You're trying to make friends, and people don't want to be your friend because of the colour of your skin. And it was quite daunting. Going to school in them days. And obviously, like many British Asians, you found out the shortcuts to school, all the alleyways that you need to dive down if you got chased by certain individuals.
Well, it certainly paid off in Shab's case, because all his ducking, diving and bobbing and weaving paid off, because he later on took up boxing, at which he enjoyed some success, and to this day he still trains.
Yeah, like I said to you, I mean, even some of my school friends actually took up karate at the time because of what was going on and the way they were being treated. By local white people, the local youth, and the parks were one of the main areas that we used to get bullied and stuff like that. But I can actually remember Hermit Park, and many great memories that we had a youth club there that everyone went to, regardless of the colour of your skin, and we all played football and snooker. And it was one of the main areas where I actually made a lot of friends locally from different backgrounds, and and the other thing was the journey to school. I don't know about you, but I had we used to have a journey to school where we used to knock for different friends, and we used to walk to school, and that was for me it was like knocking for someone like Russell, one of my mates, or it used to be a gang of us literally walking to school, and on the opposite side there might have been kids that actually wanted to beat you up. So it was completely how about your journey to school?
My journey to school was straight out of Hollow Road, across Memorial Park and into Gainsborough. So it was a short run, just on the edge of the Woodlands estate, which we used to know as the buildings back in the day.
Yeah.
But one of the changes that hasn't been so good during my time in Newham has been seeing how the community facilities that used to be available when I was young are no longer there. Some of the older members of the audience might remember Fairburn Hall at the Abbey Arms that used to offer all sorts of facilities, including a boxing ring, for local people to try out things and do different things. And unfortunately, whether it's due to government cuts, lack of interest, mismanagement, whatever, the facilities available to young people today, either especially outside schools, to entertain and educate and take our young people forward, have unfortunately suffered a great deal. And one of the commitments that Shabz has got is to see these community assets brought back into service to service the local community, because common interests and shared interests, whether it's in sport, social activities and the rest are definitely the way to build cohesive communities for the future. And just abandoning our young people, unfortunately, isn't going to help us take the community forward.
Well, I mean, that is a really, really interesting point. And like I said to you, I mean, my main agenda was actually looking at our schools and school leavers and what sort of opportunities we can give them. And at the end of the day, if you look at areas like Canning Town and in Newham in general, you know, at the end of the day, the biggest killer is social deprivation. And, you know, our young youth, they're getting into gangs and gang culture because, you know, not everyone is academic. Not everyone, you know, we have this view that we can push kids and we want them to be doctors and we want them to, you know, go forward academically, but not everyone is academic. But one of my main interests is, obviously we've got some big developments coming into Canning Town and, you know, our youth and what we want to do with them. And like I said to you, I personally, my project is to actually give our youth skills. You know, we need our youth to have skills. You know, at the end of the day, like I said to you, we want our kids to have some sort of skill so they can go on and they're not reliant on the state. I mean, at the end of the day, if we've got young kids, you know, learning to be plumbers, electricians and plasterers, it's a skill. And, you know, you can take that skill anywhere and you can literally, it's one of those things that can actually get you out of things like social poverty. Would you agree?
Definitely, Shabz, and I think that the recent local council elections have delivered a lot of new councillors. There are a lot of young people who are quite enthusiastic, who've got a lot of good ideas, and we certainly need some of those good ideas to be actually implemented and put into hard facts, put into practice, so we can get some things going. So if you've got any ideas on how we can improve the community in Newham, please give us a call on 0333 011 6786. We'd love to hear your views.
And also, you know, call us and talk about what if you are a young person, give us your views. What do you think how we could improve Newham for the youth and what is needed? Like I said to you, at the end of the day, you know, people talk about youth clubs, but my idea is, you know, a youth club. What should a youth club offer? You know, at the end of the day, I don't think certain youth clubs. You know, obviously we have things like snooker and pool and everything else in there and table tennis, but you know, my idea would be, you know, kids going in there, you know, catching up on their homework, having teachers there catching up on their homework, looking at new technology, you know, things like 3D printing. We could actually implement 3D printers into our youth clubs and show kids how to use the latest technology and develop their skills further. What do you think, Dean?
Yeah, I think that technology, a lot of young people have got an interest in things, in new developments, whether it's online, whether it's physical things like 3D printing. Music's another area where a lot of young people have an interest. So if there were studios available for them to record their own music, sing, so on, then there's a long tradition of singers coming out of the East End, David Essex being one of them. I believe your school had a link with David Essex?
He actually went to Star Lane. But again, you know, we need, you know, we've got a new elected mayor, and you know, at the end of the day, we need money to be put into things like our youth, and you know, like I said, you know, the recent tragic events in areas like Forest Gate and the gang culture that is slowly starting to arise in Newham. You know, we've actually got to work as a community to eradicate this culture. I mean, I've literally heard of cases where young lads are getting duped into these gangs, and next minute, you know, they're selling drugs and getting into a life of crime. And you know, these are the areas that we need to actually work on and stop. What are your views on you know, youth crime, and how can we stop it, Dean? What were some of the ideas that we should do?
I think we need an approach that deals with all aspects of it, and that starts with giving opportunities, you mentioned earlier, to our young people, and also on the other hand, we need to balance it with the police resources committed to dealing with serious crimes and the local council law enforcement officers. And I think working together with those three groups, offering opportunities, police activity and local law enforcement gives us more chance to deal with these issues and get young people on the right path. Anyway, this is Drive Time on Radio Ramadan FM 2018.
We are just going to go for a quick break and
we'll be back shortly.
Thank you.
Yo, bro! Cuzzy's getting married and I need to get hold of a car.
Yar, I know some boys who know some boys who know SPM Car Hire. They got the best cars in town. Rolls Royces, Ranges, Maseratis, Aston Martins. Cause you name it, they got it with the best prices in town.
Sorted! Looks like I'm going to this wedding in a Range then.
They'll drop off the car and pick you up once you're done. Just give them a ring on 01798 397 916 or visit them online spmhire.com or find them on Instagram.
Looking for meat and groceries? Look no further than Waris Food Store in Walthamstow. Visit the store to view our special Ramadan offers. 420 Hull Street, Walthamstow, E17 9AA. Or for free delivery, call us on 0208 521 0000. We have fresh deliveries of poultry and vegetables every day. Waris Food Store in Walthamstow.
Reliant Solicitors fight to protect your legal rights. Our firm offers a wide range of services including immigration, family law, commercial law, civil litigation, personal injury.
Hi there, brothers and sisters. You are listening to Ramadan FM 2018. The studio number is... Hi there, brothers and sisters. You are listening to Ramadan FM 2018. The studio number is 0333 011 6786. And give us a call and talk about your experience in about growing up in Newham, and give us some insight into your experiences. One of the things we are going to actually be talking about is Ramadan coming up, and obviously people know I'm fasting. Dean, are you fasting today?
I'm fasting for a different reason. Mine's pure vanity, just a bit of weight loss. But I'm sure I'm not the only person here or the only listener for Drive Time who's fasting. I'm sure a lot of other people out there are fasting as well. So if you've got any stories about fasting and how it impacts you, how you feel about it, and if we were talking about food, what food will you be eating to break your fast later on today?
Well, probably, obviously we break our fast with dates and water, and then obviously it could be anything from rice to curries and chapatis, and at the end of the day, then obviously it's quite daunting because you got a full stomach, then you go to prayers, then obviously we're getting up that early morning, and then it's another intake of food, then you go into prayers again, then you go to bed, and it's going to be a struggle, I think, for a lot of people for the first couple of days.
So is it always the same at the beginning of Ramadan each year? It's always a bit of a challenge to get that into that routine?
Once it's actually just getting into the routine. Once you're into the routine, it takes you about a week and a half to get used to. It's just the sleep deprivation, you see. Obviously getting up at a certain time and, and preparing.
Well, maybe you could provide a little insight to myself and the other listeners who are not so fully aware of all the details here, Shabz. I mean, how does it affect children, for example?
Well, I'll be honest with you. Some children affects. It just depends on the age group and what they're eating. Like I said to you, it's about your diet, getting your diet right. And right. if you get the diet right, then obviously it don't affect you. But like I say now, it's hot weather. You can imagine in other countries, brothers and sisters that are fasting, and they'll probably be struggling with the heat.
So it's a lot more challenging in other countries.
Yeah, I mean, at the end they were quite lucky here, and at the end they don't forget Ramadan goes back 30 days every year. So literally next year, by the time you hit winter months, it's a lot easier. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never thought about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
So, as the Ramadan period migrates through the year,
yes, every year it goes back for 30 days. So next year it start probably May time and follow that. By the next 5 or 6 years, you're hitting the winter time, and it becomes a lot more
because of the shorter days.
Yeah, and it becomes a lot more easier.
So it's challenging at the moment at this time of year.
Yeah, no, it's challenging
with the long days.
With the long days, and obviously, our friend Robert, who's flatmate, he's fasting as well. So Robert has to join in as well. So it's an interesting period. In this month is a very, very, for me, it's a very hard month, but at the end of the day, it's a rewarding month as well, being a British Muslim.
Oh, well, that's encouraging to hear that. And this is Drive Time here on Radio Ramada FM 2018. And please give us a call to share your Ramadan stories on 0333 011 6786. We look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the other topics I was actually gonna talk about is. We could actually talk about the Canning Town area and some of the developments that are going to be arising. Stephen Street development and things like that, and obviously the school in Newham, how it's going to change, because obviously we're going to have loads of new developments arising in Newham, and obviously.
You're right, Shabz. That's certainly an interesting idea. As we all know, housing's a big topic in London at the moment, about the availability of housing, not whether on the private market or whether we're talking about social or affordable housing, whether it's through various charities or social foundations or whether it's council housing. Very big topic in Newham. Newham's blessed with great communications, and later on in the year, in December, I believe, we've got the Elizabeth line coming on, so you will get from Newham to Heathrow in just over an hour, which makes Newham a very attractive place to live, but unfortunately for many people it's not affordable at the moment. One of the big developments that Shabz just mentioned is the Stevenson Street development, which will be at West Ham, which is going to provide 4,000 homes, of which a considerable portion will be social and affordable housing. So we'll definitely be talking about that development in future programmes and broadcasts, because that's going to change Canning Town itself. It's going to lead to a dramatic increase in the population from...
with the best provision of services. So why delay? Call us today on 0203 598 9938 or visit our website at www.flightmasters.com.
Do you dream of travelling to those blessed lands where the beloved of Allah was born? Does your heart yearn for Medina, the city of the beloved? If it is your time to experience a spiritual journey words cannot justify, then join us at Sam Travel and Tours and book your Hajj and Umrah packages today. We offer group and tailor-made packages for all your requirements. Based on Romford Road in London, for our last 10 days Umrah package, please call us on 0208 478 8911.
Ramadan FM 2018.
The voice of British Muslims.
MR Accountants provide a full range of accountancy and taxation services, including annual and management accounts, self-assessment, tax returns, VAT, bookkeeping and payroll services to all different types of businesses. With our in-house chartered accountants, you can be guaranteed to save money. Contact us now on 0203 432 9138.
कितनी बार कहा है कि घर को साफ रखा करो। मैं तो थक गई हूँ सफाई कर करके।
उफ, ये कॉकरोच, चूहे, कीड़े मकोड़े घर में घुस आए हैं। कहाँ जाऊँ, किसको बुलाऊँ?
माँ, बहन, बीवी और बच्चे, किसी को भी इंसेक्ट्स नहीं लगते हैं ये अच्छे। So don't worry, I'll call City Pest Control. Deal with cockroaches, mice, rats, bed bugs, fleas, flies, all types of insects and rodents. 0203 633 0080 or 0770 279 8808. www.cpestc.com. City Pest Control, large enough to cope, small enough to care. All our technicians are British Pest Control Association qualified.
Hi there, brothers and sisters, and welcome back to Ramadan FM 2018. And please email the studio on info@ramadan ramadafm2018.com, or even tweet us. Just to wrap up, you know, I'd just like to thank you today. I know I've done this show without any preparation today. Obviously, I had a very, very important police meeting, being a counsellor, and you know, I couldn't prepare my script in time. But you know, some of the topics we raised, which were about community integration and housing, the food and the UK weather, you know, we will be revisiting these issues, and we'll be talking about it. But next time I come, hopefully, inshallah, you know, I'll come with a proper script and a real topic to talk about. You know, sometimes, you know, being a counsellor, it's not. You know, you have to do sometimes things last minute, and it was a last minute meeting that popped up, and it was a very interesting meeting we did have, and Dean can talk about it.
Yeah, we managed to get into the City Hall and meet with Assembly Member Umesh Desai, who represents the City of London and East London, one of the largest London Assembly constituency areas, very diverse from the city, very wealthy, ancient traditions, to the East End, which is perhaps not always so wealthy, and with very different traditions. But it was a very fruitful meeting. And just to wrap up, I'd like to echo Shabz and saying thank you for listening. It's been a privilege to be here. We look forward to seeing you again, speaking to you again next week.
Yeah, next week, Tuesday, 3 o'clock. And hopefully this time I will have a script. And
me too.
And it won't be off the cuff like we've just done today. You know, again, apologies, but you know, being a counsellor is not always. You know, you can't prepare your time enough, and it was a last-minute meeting, which was about policing in Newham, and it was a discussion, and we had to have a talk about things like knife crime, and at the moment, it's in early stages at the moment, but obviously by the end of hopefully next couple of weeks, I'll be raising this topic again. And obviously, knife crime will be one of the issues we'll be discussing with our listeners, and how we can eradicate and what can we do about it. So thank you again. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week, Tuesday, 3 o'clock. Thank you. This is the end of the drive time, and you are listening to Ramadan FM 2018.